On this episode, what we're going to talk about is Daddy TikTok, ooh woo, and how absolutely stupid proof it is and will make your life better by using it.
MASTERCLASS.
What's your name?
Internet darling.
Buzz cut moron. Perfect.
Because it's so much fun, Chad. Get it?
Welcome to another episode of The Gatekeepers. I'm Monroe. With me, as always, is David Lugowski and Kamerin Stroud. Fellas, how y'all doing?
I'm doing really good. How about you guys?
Another beautiful day in a city of brotherly love.
Amen. I miss my city. My city was so beautiful. This city's beautiful too, but there's just nothing like getting yelled at a homeless man who's jerking off on 5th.
Okie dokie.
On this episode, we're going to go through a TikTok masterclass. The three of us have cut our teeth on TikTok. We know what's going on. We upload more frequently than I think your average person, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
We consume it quite a bit. I'm not going to lie. So I think we are the authorities here to talk about best tips and tricks and what we've learned. And also we have some breaking news as of right this second, which will be old news by the time you hear it. But this is still wonderful if you didn't know about this when it comes to TikTok. I'll go ahead and start with this. TikTok has become Cannes Film Festival's official partner. They're going to launch a hashtag TikTok short film and an in-app competition of vertical short films that are between 30 seconds and 3 minutes in length, with an award presented for 3 winners at the event. This is from Variety, so this is the real fucking deal, folks. I'm really excited for that. TikTok is here to stay. It's not going away anytime
Clearly,
soon.
yeah.
Has Instagram done anything like that?
No, Instagram tried IGTV to go up against YouTube, and then they stole everything from TikTok and stories. So, Instagram ain't shit.
And before that, TikTok implemented 6-second videos to kill Vine. So that's what.
Before that, it was Musical.ly. That's when it was Musical.ly, wasn't it?
What? That's when what was Musical.ly? TikTok was Musical.ly before that.
Yeah. The app name was Musical.ly before it was TikTok.
Right. But Instagram started doing the videos to kill Vine, which was like 2011, 2012.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
This is before Musical.ly. So.
Yeah,
man, craziness. So I'm curious who wants to start. I'd love to hear your best practices between the three of us. You know, David Lugowski's got the most TikTok followers. I mean, I think you should kind of show me the way.
Show you the way. You want to know the way? Okay, fine. Here, real quick. I wanted to say something before we get into this. Just because it worked for me does not mean it's going to work for you. That is the most important thing here. That so many people, I think, forget to say on social media is just because it worked for me, don't mean it's going to work for you. You could post 5-10 times a week, but if you lack the most important thing here, which is character, you're not going to get anywhere. I see a lot of TikTokers that I follow, that I'm friends with even on TikTok, that I like what they do because I like what they do. They're not the most inspiring.
Get them,
though.
David. Get him, David.
I'm not getting them. I'm just saying, like, they have only about 3,000 or 4,000 followers. Have had that for the past year and a half, and they're wondering how they're not going anywhere. And it really comes down to the fact is like, no one wants to eat milk. Like that bland, like porridge. No one wants that. They want to have flavor. They want someone that's got some character to them. So whatever you're doing, if you're doing comedy or if you're being serious, you're being inspiration, don't just flatline and just say whatever you want to say to a camera just blandly. Be animated. Show us who you are. That's like the whole idea of social media was to give an outlet for everyone who wanted to perform. So just perform. Don't just sit there and say something. People are here to be entertained. No one's going to be entertained by C-SPAN. They're going to be entertained by ETV. I don't even think if ETV is around anymore, actually. Whatever. Okay. All right. Sorry.
I think you would have got a better knowledge if you said MTV.
MTV. Yes. I did E-News and MTV, and I put them together. That's what it is. MTV. But I mean, like, that's really what it is. Doesn't matter how good your content is. It doesn't matter how helpful it is. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. Definitely doesn't matter how many followers you have. If you lack the ability to perform, that's it. You're not going to get anywhere.
I'm gonna say I actually gotta agree with David for once in my life. Can't believe I'm saying that.
Oh
Is
shit!
that your character really does mean something. I think that's the reason why most of the followers that I have now follow me anyways, because they like my character, because I don't really put out great content, or at least I don't think I do. I think I put out mediocre okay content, but my character speaks for itself. No, I'm not going to even bring him into this one because he also brought this shit up before, but we're going to leave him out on this episode. So, but yeah, your character really does say a lot for you, because if they can connect with you for video, that means they can also, if they meet up with you in person, they're going to be connect with you that way too. So try connecting with your audience more than just throwing content on. Because there's a difference between where somebody just content, where compared to somebody that's like, hey, let's actually sit down and talk. Okay.
Holy shit!
It's
You guys kind of like punched me in the side here. I did not expect this. This is like a sucker punch. What you're talking about?
How
I'm glad we're starting here. No, it's absolutely strong.
it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good
But
thing.
but I got to say, I'm kind of like a little cucked here because I don't know if I do that actually. I don't know if I connect with people in that way. I don't know if I do.
you gotta understand, character comes in many different forms. There's David's character, which is our Hawk character. There's me, was like, yo, what's good, what's popping, and then there's your type of character, is like, hey, this is what it is. Everybody's character is different. We all know this. It's just show your character, be yourself.
Well, hold on. It's so much more. Okay, I use the word perform.
He's hulking out. He's hulking out.
I use
brother.
the word perform because he's drinking a jug of water. This motherfucker drinking a jug of water on our fucking pot.
It's a gallon. What?
I wasn't expecting the jug.
Yo, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated.
I understand
y'all.
that. Okay, all right. Oh, hold on.
Stay
I said
hydrated.
I used the word perform. I
Yes.
can't get it out of my head now. He just pulled it out of nowhere. He hit me with the gallon of water. Anyway, okay. So
When
what
you
I'm
use the
saying,
word perform,
when I use the word perform, I mean that. If Knives, if you are being yourself, right, in your videos, if anyone who is watching this is just being themselves in their videos, that's cool. That's great. You might attract someone who believes that they're actually friends with you, but that's okay. That's fine. Whether those polysocial people or parasocial people, the
Parasocial.
fucking weirdos. But the reason why I'm saying perform is because you got to take who you are and you got to go up a notch. If you are 100% genuinely yourself on the internet, that's amazing. But you need to put energy with it. You can't just be you. There's a reason all of those people you watch on TikTok or Instagram. Oh, who's watching? Oh, no, people are watching stuff on Instagram or YouTube. There's an energy to them. You got to be energetic. You can't just be yourself.
What if you already are an energetic person?
That's different. You're already energetic. If you're already at 11, no reason to go any higher. You're already there.
But let's also throw this out, because like energy comes from multiple different ways. Like, yeah, your energy is important, but you can have a really chill energy and still give that hyped up energy based off what sounds you're using. Like from the music that you might be using, the visuals.
I disagree.
That you use, because because there's literally an account. There's an account out there. All he does is post his video clips, and every time I see it, I'm like, cool, the visuals look cool, but I'm like, wait a minute, this is the same clip you used like last week, and that's all he does. And people are in his comments all the time. Yo, this is fire. Yo, this is dope. Yo, this is absolutely amazing. But I'm sitting here like, it's the same fucking clip. Like,
but here's the thing, you're forgetting the most important thing that we all should know as filmmakers. We're all filmmakers in some regard. The one thing
please don't say story.
No. We're talking short form video here. That whole story thing. I have a whole thing against. No, it's
no. So yeah, no. So what's the word?
It's context.
Okay.
If I do a video where I'm trying to hype people up, right? But the most viral song on TikTok isn't something that's going to hype people up, people aren't going to watch and people aren't going to like it, because now there is this disconnect. There is dissonance with what I'm saying and what they're hearing. So you can't just slap any energetic song onto whatever you're doing. You have to have a relative context
I'm not,
to the content you're making.
I'm not saying just slap an energetic song on it and call it a day. That's, of course, that's not going to get you anywhere and whatnot. So context, yeah, you're right. Context is important. You're right.
Yes, context is very important. Knives, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I don't know if I agree that you need to. It depends. Like, I think there are creators on TikTok who are not just persona based creators. There are some who are like how to creators. There are some who are like, I'm fixing my bike and that's what I do. Or here's what I made to eat today or whatever. And so sometimes they turn the camera on what they're doing, not necessarily on themselves. And I think for the people who are turning the camera on what they're doing, I don't know if they're in the persona business. So I don't know if they need to turn up to 11. But if the camera's on you and you want to entertain, yes, I do think that you need to turn yourself up to 11 contextually to whatever that is natively for you. If you're a soft-spoken whatever, maybe be a soft-spoken witty whatever, right? Like turn it up a little bit. I don't think what David is saying is a one-stop shop solution for everybody, which is everybody needs to be the Incredible Hulk. Not necessarily, but everybody needs to put whatever superhero cape equivalent that they have on when they're on camera. That I can agree with.
I think there's another really important thing when I say perform and persona. I think another really important reason to have a persona on social media is because I don't think it's really smart to put your personal life all over social media. There are some people who do that, and that's great for them, I guess. But I feel like you just open this can of worms if you don't put like some kind of barrier between this is my life outside of social media and this is only social media. If you don't put a barrier between these two things and they start bleeding together, I just, in my experience with other people who have not put up that barrier, it just seems like bad things happen. And it doesn't really ever go well. So that's one of my other big reasons for pushing this idea of having some kind of persona. It's a nice little buffer zone from your life outside of social media or TikTok more specifically, and from the life that you have on TikTok. And what do you guys think? Am I paranoid or am I
right?
just
He'll come
am I
back.
all fucked up?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna wait
He'll
for him
come
to
back.
come back.
Oh,
Okay,
there he
yeah,
is.
you got it. You're good. You're good. What I wanted to ask Cam was, you got to hang out with Cody Warner, and I think it's okay to say that, right?
Yep. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
one of my favorite creators. I've been keeping an eye out on him for quite some time. The way I was introduced to him was this other creator that I follow, Tyler Babin, made kind of like this documentary about him, and I just thought he was a really interesting, entertaining guy. Did you guys get into a conversation about TikTok tips and tricks and like what's working for y'all?
So we didn't actually like talk too much about tips and tricks or anything like, but we did get to talk about how everything kind of came together and whatnot. That, but we didn't really talk a lot about social media. Actually, we talked more about camera gear and who we were as people and whatnot. So honestly,
That
yeah,
sounds
we
about
honestly
right,
just
yeah.
hanged out. Yeah. Well, like
He's
yeah,
a pretty
Cody,
successful guy, right? Like, what did you learn from him? Like that kind of rubbed off in a good way of like, oh, this is what this type of person brings to the table. I'm curious.
Well, one thing, first thing I'll say, the first thing I noticed about the guy is that he's freaking tall. He's
Yeah.
tall. Like the camera makes him, and it's funny because like he's tall, but the camera makes him look short. But David is short, but the camera makes him look tall.
Why are we
Like,
firing shots at me? What the fuck did I do? I'm sitting here just all I'm doing is going into my little nothing box of nothing, and I'm just like, all right, that's what I got to do tomorrow. I'm just listening to you, and all of a sudden, David is short. It's like, hey, yo, why? Okay.
it wasn't. I wasn't even firing shots. It's something that we've told people before. So
Man, why are short people so irritable? My God.
Why are you tall?
Sorry, poor listeners' ears. I apologize for that. Yeah, man, he's one of my. I look up to this guy, and I bought his book. I have it here. I feel like now I'm just plugging Cody Warner stuff, but 100 vlogs. Bought it on Amazon. It was $10. Total must buy. And he's such an incredible creator. I was green with envy when I saw on TikTok that you were working with him.
So, and I'll say that, and like, I actually got to talk to him about that a little bit more. Like, I just asked him, like, so, like, what was the tough part about it? He's like, well, just doing it, like, just getting to that point of just do it and getting it done was better than perfect. I was like, yeah,
Hell yeah.
that shit is hard.
That's true.
And then I did ask him, I was like, so with the introduction of TikTok, has that made it better or harder for you? He's like, well, I don't do daily vlogs anymore. But
Yeah.
with TikTok, it's just been fun. You know,
Yeah.
it's like with TikTok, I've been able to meet so many more creators through TikTok than I ever did with YouTube. And
Same here.
I'm like, but you met the so-called GOAT through YouTube. So I was like, you know what? I mean, I get it. You're right. Like
No,
you're
don't
allowed.
call him the GOAT, Cam. Come
You know,
on.
I only said it because I was hoping David would go off again.
I would call him
But
the golden boy, but I wouldn't call him the
all right, the
GOAT.
golden boy. I can go with that one. But
Who the fuck said you're calling him the GOAT? The fuck? What? What?
Cam called him the GOAT.
Bro, I found out about this man 2 weeks ago. He can't be the GOAT.
No,
no.
You're not listening.
We're-
He who shall not
He
be
shall
named.
not be named.
Yes.
Oh.
Cam, just let the bird out of the cage. Just
Yeah,
Really,
I know. Peter
I'm
fucking
trying.
McKinnon. Yeah, I know. Peter fucking McKinnon. I know.
there. You got the
figured
reaction
it
you
out.
wanted. Yes. We're trying to go one pod without mentioning Peter.
We can't. We are photographers and filmmakers in 2022. We can't. We have to talk about this man.
Is Peter McKinnon relevant? I don't know if he's relevant
Well,
today.
okay, he is relevant for me because that's how I met Cody.
When? What do you mean? Oh, because you saw him in the
Yeah,
video.
we saw him on the video with Peter.
He was on.
Oh,
he was
I
on one of
thought
his
your
vlogs.
best friend. I thought your best friend Pete introduced you to Cody. I was like, oh my goodness.
That'd be dope. but-
That would be funny. That would be funny. I would still not be a huge fan of Peter McKinnon, but I would be a little jelly. I'm not gonna lie. I would be just a little bit.
So, but yeah, no, that's how I got introduced to Cody, and like from that point on, it's like, yo, I really want to meet this dude because he's in Pennsylvania, and then I followed his blog, his on vlog and everything. I'm like, yo, he's the dope freaking dude. It's freaking awesome.
I still have to sit down and watch some of his stuff. Like I really do.
Yeah, he's a really neat dude, man.
He's realistic. He's not trying to sell you anything or anything. Like he's just like, this is me.
I want to subscribe to him right
Yeah.
now.
This is what you get.
That's a good idea. On the topic of TikTok, because I want to stay on topic here. One of the reasons why I fell in love with it. Now, I feel like I'm having the craziest deja vu. Like I must have had a dream about this podcast. Seriously. But I was my account is a Musically account from TikTok. I've had it. I'm
word?
grandfathered in. Yeah.
Wow.
I started on Musically in 2015. And when it was like the dancing app, when it really was that. TikTok is known as the dancing app. TikTok to me, like why I encourage people to get on it and to make stuff with it is it's a filmmaking tool in an app. You know, like you can do edits in the app. You can't even do that on iPhone camera software. You know, you can add music, so now you can create a montage. People are learning the film language on TikTok, whether they're realizing that or not. No. Before I'll listen to your rebuttal, but
okay,
it's a filmmaker in an app. Like it's an editing sweep in an app. I see people who are not filmmakers with a capital F, who did not go to film school, who would never aspire to make a feature film, who are making what I would call like feature film worthy TikToks on TikTok, and they're cutting and they're doing transitions and they're doing wipes and they're doing montages and they're using film language. What, the classical Alfred Hitchcock, Martin Scorsese film language of dissolves and swipes and filters, and they're using it all. And it's all built in natively into the app. Like right now, Instagram Reels is super clunky. Like it is not.
Oh my God, yeah.
Nothing sticks with me whatsoever. And it's like, man, think about that. The UI of TikTok is incredible. I remember the first time I and I'll let David get into his rebuttal here, but the first time I saw Snapchat, the UI took me a year to kind of really get into. I was like, you go up, you go down, you go left, you go right. There's no not dashboard. What do you call it? There's no
HUD.
Like on Tumblr, the scroll, right?
Oh.
No.
Yeah. There's no.
It's
scroll.
called a down, like a never-ending scroll, like on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr.
It's no for you
timeline.
page. There's no for you.
A timeline, yes, a timeline.
Feed, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't have that. A feed, yes, a feed. And so I was like, what is this? It took me a while to get it, and I got it, right? TikTok, as soon as I got into it, I was like, this is my dream app, man. This is like, I only see what I want to see. The algorithm, it's not even an algorithm. Like, it just knows who I am. Um, and then I got to actually meet people that were people, and then like, I can't remember. I think Cam reached out to me. I think he stitched me once, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Saw his shit, and I'm like, "Well, this guy's dope." And then he would say something that bothered me, and then I was like, "Well, I'm gonna stitch this guy." I remember because I was in Portland, Oregon on a shoot when I think you first stitched me, and I stitched you back, and then we got into each other's DMs, and then you started asking me questions like, where do you live, bro? How far are you? Just kidding. No, you started asking me questions like, hey, like when you stitch, how do you turn the music off on this? And like, how do you do that? How do you do that? And then we started helping each other. Before I knew it, I was in a group chat. Before I knew it, I was doing a podcast with. Now we're all TikTokers now, like, dude, and that happened because of the platform, like to what Cam said earlier, like that never happened to me on YouTube. I may have had an ex-girlfriend or two because they saw me on YouTube, but that wasn't necessarily a good thing.
TikTok.
It's fun. I mean,
TikTok is stupid proof. And one of the things about, in my opinion, about apps, especially for social media, is when they're stupid proof, it allows people to connect. When people are not so focused on trying to work the fucking thing, they can actually connect with each other. And it's kind of like social media is, TikTok is the best app for social media. The only thing I wanted to say, it wasn't even a rebuttal. It was just, you can edit natively in the camera app on an iPhone. I've done
How do you do that?
You have to go in. You have to edit the clip, and then while you're editing, you can, if I remember correctly, you can edit videos, and then you can trim it up in there, and you can't rearrange them. That's the only thing you can't.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. You can't add multiple clips in one clip and save it as a multiple clip. You can't.
Well,
I thought you could.
No, you can't.
No, you can't do multiple clips. You have to do a 1v1 and put it into.
Never mind. Okay, Knives is right. Never mind.
Thank you very much. Like, no, it does not do that. Now, there's a great app called Spark. There's a great app called Spark Camera that does it really, really well. Where
I use
kind of like you hold. There you go, and that's a great another way. But no, that the iPhone's not interested in doing that because it's just not interested in doing that. But TikTok does it in the app for free. TikTok is free, and people are learning skills, man, and they're getting paid. They're getting paid to do this. The people are figuring out, like, we talked about the films that influenced us in the last 2 pods ago. It was movies that influenced us, but now it's TikTok, this platform that's influencing the next generation, man. That's mind blowing. People are figuring out their passions because of this platform. Why would that be sad? For such a young dude, I'm surprised how much of an old timer you are.
I'm not an old timer. I was asking you a question. I think it's a great thing. Whoa. I think it's phenomenal that people are finding that they love film editing, or that they love writing, or they love using a camera. I find that amazing.
Mr. Lugowski.
I was just asking as just a question.
Yeah. When you were in 2006, how old were you?
Oh God, why are you doing this to me? 11.
Okay, 11. No, that's plenty old to have been on YouTube. To say like in 2006, 7, 8 that you wanted to be a YouTuber, I don't even think the word YouTuber existed yet, and it was corny as fuck.
It didn't exist until they started monetizing stuff and putting the ads on everything, and then they had that whole issue with videos of like people getting beheaded by ISIS had like ads on them.
Yeah.
Like, and they had to restructure how they were doing ads and everything, and companies were pulling out one.
David, around what year would you say that being a YouTuber as a job was actually no longer a corny thing? It was a real thing. What year would you say?
Like a job, 2016.
Oh, not that long ago, right? TikTok,
not long ago.
You could be a professional TikToker today if you wanted to.
You could be. It would be very difficult. I think the problem, the biggest issue that I have with TikTok is that it seems like it's... No, that's a wrong way to put that. I do not like how they're going to be paying people. I don't like it. I don't think it makes any sense. I think that
I hope it changes. Yeah.
I hope it changes. Like their creator fund is kind of shitty, and it's actually really funny. Hank Green did a whole YouTube video about this, and I watched it, and I was like, dude, I didn't realize any of it. But basically what it is there's this pot of money, and depending on the amount of views you get paid for a certain amount of views. But people who get more views intrinsically are just going to get paid more out of this finite amount of money. Whereas someone like YouTube, they pay 51% of their profits into the YouTube creator fund. And it's a percentage. So if it goes up, the percentage goes up. Like, It's just one of those things where I think TikTok needs to get their shit together on that end, or else they're never going to be able to get past being just a community building app, because I think that is the best thing it's for right now, community building. That I do believe.
As far as the monetization part, that is just one revenue stream, right? And it's a big one because AdSense is a big revenue stream for a lot of successful YouTubers.
Yeah.
But there's also sponsorship deals, there's ad deals, there's collaborations. Bella Porch, I believe that's her name, got like a record deal from that. And so depending on how big and famous you are, you can get poached by another big brand to be like, hey, make TikToks for me.
Didn't Bella Porch rip off Mozart?
I don't know if she did, but I'm sure one of her producers did.
Someone ripped off Mozart.
So everything's a remix. Look, didn't Quentin Tarantino rip off Game of Death? Yeah, we could do that. We could play that game
do this forever.
But yeah. So guys, as we're wrapping up here, and I want to serve this to Cam. What have been for you, and David did a good setup with like everything's going to be different as a individual basis. For you, Cam, what were some TikTok's best practices that you found that worked for you, whatever that ROI, return on investment, was, whether that means new followers, new views, meeting new people, whatever it was, attention, feedback, what have you. What was something that you did that really was a massive unlock for you?
Training TikTok to actually be able to show me the content that I wanted to see, because when I first got on TikTok, it was nothing but big butts, comedy stuff, dancing, the crap that I didn't want to see, except for the butts. So I had to train it to go from that to seeing more photographers, seeing videographers, seeing drone pilots, seeing cinematographers, filmmakers, anything that was business related, marketing and things like that. I had to actually train TikTok, which Knives, I learned that from you, actually, to hit that not interested for like a good week or two. And then for a good month, only like, comment, or anything like that related to photography and videography stuff. And then that's all I was seeing. And that led me to doing stitches on stuff that I would hear. Like, I forget what David said. I was like, but what about this? There was something that you said that, what about this? I did the same thing for Blame Anthony and whatnot. And eventually when I started putting my own content out, it showed it to other photographers and videographers and so forth and so on.
I do want to just tell this very quick story. The first time Cam actually stitched something I said, I don't remember what it was. I remember my reaction though. I just kind of looked at my phone at his video. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? And only now I find it hysterical that I was like, I'm gonna drag this motherfucker. And here we are now. Here we are sitting here on a podcast together. I find that very
Did you
funny.
drag him?
No, I don't think I actually dragged him. I think I dragged what he was saying. Because I was trying to be amicable. And then I just was like, fuck being amicable. Like, I hate being amicable. This is stupid.
I love how both of you guys are like really comfortable with being controversial. I'm not a controversial guy. I'm not also interested in being likable.
Cam is controversial. Fucking how is Cam controversial? He might be controversial in the South, but that's about it.
Oh no, I well, not as controversial as you, and not as obviously controversial as you are. You're very obviously
overtly, yeah, I am,
yes, overtly, yes.
For me,
but Cam is controversial in topics. Yes, he's divisive. He's polarizing. Maybe that's a better word.
Okay.
In what? He says the right shit. What do you mean? He's right.
Of course, you'd say that, right? But
he's right. What do you mean?
I've seen TikToks that create derision. Am I wrong, Cam?
No. Like, honestly, that's how I got a lot of my following, because it goes back to gear. Not your gear fucking matters.
That's what it was.
Matters.
The gear video. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Because I was like, your gear doesn't matter. Or
no, you didn't say that.
No, I didn't.
You didn't say that.
Gear doesn't.
You would never say that. You would never say that. On the last pod, you were sucking Cannon's dick so hard you were spitting out fucking lens flares.
Well, I can't spit out lens flares on a non-anamorphic lens. Come on, Knives, you should know that.
Fair.
Yeah, no.
You were spitting out a chromatic aberrations.
But
how do you think the L lenses don't have any chromatic aberration? How do you think? You're welcome,
yeah.
everyone who uses a Canon L lenses.
So yes, gear matters. But what was the video then? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was the video that really got people to like actually look at me was the one where it was somebody said something about, oh yeah, there's a location, but I'm not going to share it, and I went on a whole tangent
There you
about
go.
how
I
they're
remember.
fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
you were upset
They're-
about that for like a month.
they're fucking dickheads and whatnot, and I told them, like, if you do
Gatekeeping.
this, you're a shitty person or you're a shitty photographer.
So in my
drove.
mind, I figured out the solution for this, right? I figured out the way to do this is we fund the National Park Service more, right? That's the number. Well, that's number one thing. Fund the National Park Service. You never have to worry about this. But also number two is if people litter or they get caught or they are seen doing anything like defacing the national park, they don't get a fine. They don't spend time in the county jail. They just catch these fucking hands. That's it. Beat the shit out of these people one time, and that's all you need to do. You need to beat someone up enough, and everyone else goes, "Oh, so I get my ass beat if I draw on the rock? I'm not drawing on the rock." That's just what it is. Did you see in, I think it was in New Mexico, Petroglyphs National Monument, someone carved their name into a petroglyph, into an actual 1,000-year-old petroglyph. Like Kim was here over like an ancient artifact that can never be replaced. See, people like that get their asses beat. That's it. Just what it is. I'm sorry. Am I controversial for saying that?
Yeah.
Nah,
David's
I
solution.
agree.
David's solution is beat the ass. Got it.
Beat their ass. Like fuck them. Like what?
I 100% agree with that.
All right. I think it's time, guys. I think it's time that we wrap this up so that Cam
All
can
right.
get going to what he's gonna do. Thank you, everyone, for
Cam's
watching.
been busy. Well, dude, I've been busy too, man. We've all been busy. A lot of crazy shit's happening. I want to thank you guys, first of all, before we sign off here, so much for doing this. We've been really flexible. Everybody's been working with each other. I think we went above and beyond this week. I want you to know that I don't take that for granted. And I love you guys. I want to give you guys your flowers. Thank you for being flexible. Thank you for making this possible, making it happen. Seriously, seriously, seriously. I'm looking at
Thank
you,
you.
Cam. Really, really cool of you
Yeah.
to stick it out. You've been so busy, and my goodness, and you've offered like, hey man, I could record like at 11 p.m. and I'm like, yeah, I can't. So thanks for
See, the
wanting to
funny
do
thing-
that. Like, I really
The
appreciate
funny thing
that.
is when Cam says we can record at 11 p.m. your time, it's like, bro, that's midnight for you. Go the fuck to sleep. Go the fuck to sleep. You are busy. Go
I
the
get
fuck
it
to
though.
sleep.
I get it though, and I like
The-
it.
the
So I
grind
wanna
is
thank
real
the
for Cam.
listeners. It 100% is. Thank you to the listeners. If you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you made it this far. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on TikTok. You can find me at Knives Monroe and all the things. Cam, where can they support you and find you on the internet?
Yo, just look at your boy up on Images by Cam on that IG. You gonna find everything else. You heard?
And David, where can they find you on the internet?
Here on YouTube is David Lugowski, and then on Instagram and TikTok is at the David Lugowski. Really simple.
Wait until you said the Twitter one. The Twitter one is always funny.
Oh yeah,
Go
I'll do
on.
the
Oh,
Twitter
yes.
one. Fine. So the Twitter one is at the David Lugowski because I can't actually afford the I at the end of David because I only get 15 fucking characters. I feel like that's a flaw in the system of Twitter, but whatever. It's fine, I guess. So those are mine. I think Knives will put the links down below, I believe.
Links are always down in the show notes, down below in the description. Check it out. Support the cause. Follow these guys because they make incredible stuff, and I'm a big fan of them. I would have been a fan of them
Thanks,
regardless. I would have found them eventually, even if Cam never reached out to me. So I remember the first day I followed David on TikTok, and I was like, "Bro, you're my hero. Like, you're just saying all the shit that I'm too afraid to say, and you take all the heat for it. It's great.
Stop. Thank
It's great.
you. Stop. I know.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time."
Deuces.